different, and I'll get into that later on. But you will actually be learning from and hearing from all four professors, no matter where you are in the world. However, Peter and Nyland are focused more on the Boston Challenge, and Liliana and Daniel, you'll be more familiar with them if you are in the London Challenge. But I do just personally want to thank all of you for your hard work in preparing for this and helping me out. I truly could not do this. This would not happen without you guys. So I see Liliana. I don't know if anybody else was able to join, but Liliana, do you want to just quickly introduce yourself?
Yes, of course. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, wherever you are. I think that's the beauty of this challenge, to have students from everywhere in the world, and that's why we love so much, and that's why we love HALT. I'm Liliana Caimacan, I'm Professor of Marketing, Entrepreneurship and Innovation at HALT Business School undergraduate campus in London, basically engaging with students across the world and supporting them in bringing to life various interesting challenges, engaging with customers, and that's what exactly I'm going to support you through this journey. I'm coming from business myself, working also as consultant and being part of big companies like Unilever or Tata Consumer Products. So always bring this expertise, especially in the space of innovation. So we have a fantastic challenge. I think that's really brilliant to have the opportunity to work for FC Barcelona. And a very challenging one. So it will be a really, really cool journey. So we'll hear more about the challenge soon. But cool journey, looking forward to be with you and all of us work and prepare to our clients super, super cool presentations at the end of the challenge. So welcome, good luck, and looking forward to engage with you later on.
Thanks, Liliana. And I see Nyland did make it at 4:30 this morning. And Nyland is our newest professor coming on this year. So Nyland, do you want to quickly introduce yourself as well? Are you muted? You're muted.
Yeah, sorry. Good morning, everyone. Yes, it's early in Boston. I echo my colleague Liliana's comments about being thrilled to be part of this challenge. Majority of my career has been in managing, global brands, global advertising agencies, and in fact, I was managing director of an agency in Barcelona for several years ago. And so this is particularly delightful to be working with my team. I'm a marketing professor, here at HALT. I've taught all of our marketing courses, and I look forward to leading our teams, specifically the development of their product, quote unquote, that they are developing for you, and working with all of our colleagues here. So good morning.
Thank you, Nyland. Welcome. Okay. And then we'll be meeting Pete and Daniel later on, or another time. So now I want to, so we all know what the challenge is. We're excited to learn more about what the actual challenge this year specifically will be. But why do we do the HALT Future Leaders Challenge? This is our 4th year doing this, and every year it gets bigger and bigger. But why do we do it? So now I want to turn it over to my colleague and the biggest Barcelona fan that I know to share more about why HALT Future Leaders Challenge. So over to you, Alvaro Baigorri.
Thank you so much, Alana. This is super exciting to see all of you here from so many different countries. And that is one of the reasons that we do this, right? We as a school, as a business school, we are very focused on practical learning and a hands-on approach. So we want to bring that to high schoolers all around the world as well. We want to try to close the gap between theory in class and practice with real world clients. In this case, super excited that we have the Barcelona Innovation Hub with us. So here, that's why we are doing this, right? Students will gain global exposure, as you all can see, the amount of different countries that we have today here, and many more that will come in the second session of this meeting as well. And here we tackle real world challenges. So as you'll see in a little bit, Barcelona Innovation Hub will bring the challenge that you all will have to solve at the end of this program, which is the most exciting part, right? The most challenging, but also super exciting. We'll be doing business from the first day. It's a very practical challenge, and you will learn all of the skills that you guys will need to succeed, but not only be successful here, but also on your college and career path later on. You guys will be guided by our wonderful professors and Alana through this journey. Here for the winners, we have a special surprise as well, where there will be some coaching opportunities for the finalists after this event from our team as well. And obviously, we're all here because we want to make a better either college path, career path, and this is kind of like the first step, right? Building the skills that AI can replace, because if we are all very aware of the AI wave right now, we want to build those skills that it cannot be replaced. So you guys are future-proof as well. So these are all the reasons that we do this. This is our 4th year, as Alana said, doing this, and high schoolers love to get their hands into projects like this. So we do it for you guys to be able to close that gap between you in classroom, in the theories, and actual real world challenges with real life clients. So without any more wait, it's our honor to present you guys Sergi. He is Sergi Gonzalez. He has quite the extensive experience in sport management, specializing in the football industry with over 5 years of experience, driving innovation and growth through strategic partnerships. So, Sergi, go ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alvaro. Let me first of all say thank you to Holt Business School for this opportunity to share with the world what is Barcelona Innovation Hub, but also to represent one of the most prestigious clubs in the sports industry, like is FC Barcelona. For me, it's a pleasure to be here with a lot of students that are excited, that are looking for hearing me and to explain what Barcelona Innovation Hub is. I love that many of you come from different countries, so that means that you really understand what Barca is and how global our brand is in the world. Saying that, give me a few seconds to share my screen, and I will start to explain more about us. Okay. Okay, so I hope that everyone can see my screen. I don't know if you can confirm. Yes, I see some yes in the room. Okay, so I would like to start explaining more about myself. I think it's important to give you context about who I am. So I was graduated in business economics in Girona, that is a region in Catalonia in Spain, where, to be honest, and as many of you will face this stage, I didn't have a clue about my future in my career. So I decided to go for an education program that was quite holistic, quite general, and then with the idea to go more for experience and to understand which department maybe would fit better with me. During my my bachelor's degree, I had the opportunity to do a Erasmus program that is a kind of exchange program with other universities. So I spent 6 months in the Netherlands, in another university, trying also to have different insights about how is education in other institutions. And then when I was graduated, I started to have different experiences in the labor market, and I will share with you the most relevant ones in the next slides. But I think that one of the, let's say, key moments in my career was going for a specific and specialization education in sports management. So I did a master in Barcelona in a specific business school that is focused on these topics, and then also that was an extra. I was graduated in another official master degree in supply chain management. I think that for you, maybe the most relevant is also to understand my career in the labor market. So during my period in the masters in sports management, I had the opportunity to start feeling what's working for a football club. So I was doing an internship in the same school with the idea to activate a sponsor for a football club in Barcelona that was in the lowest division compared with FC Barcelona, but actually was the first touch with this sports industry that in somehow is quite complex industry, but is really exciting, because if you passion in sports, if you passion in football, working for this kind of industries is also something really satisfying, to be honest. So that was my first experience, and when I finished my master's degree, I was thinking about my next steps, and actually I was quite secure that my next step would be working for a football club. So I wanted to know what's behind the scenes to work for a football club. And I was looking for opportunities with different contacts in my network, and I had the opportunity to join the Girona FC Girona, that at that moment was competing in the first division in Spain. So I started with a small project, selling tickets for groups. To be honest, with a lot of energy, a lot of motivation, and was quite a successful project, because that was something that was created from scratch. And in terms of numbers, we were so successful selling tickets for groups of coming from schools or amateur clubs or other group of people that we identify at that moment. That was the first season. The next 2 seasons, I was promoted, so I had more responsibilities, and I created the fan zone, the tour in the stadium, other projects related with football programs, and that was something that allows me to learn a lot to create new products from scratch. We were, of course, testing with not many resources, and then tracking the evolution, the performance of these new products, and that was a big learn. Then I moved to another industry, because after 3 seasons, I felt that I needed a change in my life. So I didn't find anything interesting in the sports industry, so I moved to another one, doing some responsibilities of import furniture from other countries from the Asia. And that was another experience. I mean, that gave me more learnings as well from different perspectives. And finally, I received the call of FC Barcelona to join a project in innovation. And actually, in the beginning, I was quite with fear to understand the project, because, of course, FC Barcelona, the first point is like, okay, I would love to work for my beloved club, but I wanted to check that the job position was fitting with my skills and my profile. But finally, it was like that, and I accept the proposal. And I think that now, after 3 years, 3 seasons, I'm quite satisfied with the decision that I made. And now we will move to explain more about FC Barcelona, but also what is Barca Innovation Hub, that I think that is the most important point here, and then how your project will be related to the unit. So first of all, I think it's important to start with this context of FC Barcelona. I imagine that most of you knows about the club, about the sport club, but it's important also to understand the ecosystem where we are moving. We are one of the top sports in the world, the most followed, the most watched also in the whole world. So that's giving us an idea of how important is football for those people as an entertainment, but also as a passion. Okay, so this is something that we always talk about in the company, about the difference between a customer and a fan. Okay, when you have a fan, this usually is coming from when they are born. The father select the team for the son, and that's how you start your life following a specific club, right? So that's something for us more intensive than a simple customer that can purchase your product and then change to another brand so easy, right? So we are with this responsibility also to represent this global brand that, as you can see in the screen, is according to different research companies, is one of the most stronger or the most followed brands in the world, and as you can see in the different parts of the world. So that's also giving us a global approach of how important it is for us be attractive to all different segments of customers around the world. We compare with other brands that, please don't take this slide so serious. I just wanted to share with you how we are competing in terms of brand strength with top global brands around the world. Also, for us, it's important to understand which kind of fans do we have, right? So we are usually doing some research internally to understand the segmentation of the fans that comes from the whole globe, right? You can see here some data about how where the data comes from about the different customers. We can see here the differentiation about the males, females, also the ages of fans that are following us, that are being part of the different actions, events, or even in social media that we will see in the next slide. So for us, it's important, for us, the same for any other football club or even in companies, to understand who is following FC Barcelona. Also, as you know, we are now in the society in this digital era where everyone is connected with a mobile phone and of course part of any of the listed social media platforms. And we understood from the beginning that we needed to communicate about our fans through these channels, right? So we also had this strategy in order to reach as much people as possible, to open the different social platforms that are used in the different countries. So as you can see, there are different social platforms that are coming from different countries, where we open an account with the idea to share with them in their own language the different information about the results, the new hirings for the first team, the new big events that we will also explain later. Okay, the idea is to connect with them in any part of the world. In the right side, you can also see one example that there is a lot of ways and metrics and tools to measure the performance in the different social media platforms. But yeah, if we compare with other football clubs, just in this specific variable that is interaction per post, we see that we are quite upfront in the table, right? So we are really strong in Instagram and Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube on this richness in the different actions that we are doing. Of course, when there is a big event like an official match, the metrics are boosted, and then after the match, there is more calm. There is different metrics on that. But if we go for the average, we are in a quite good position compared with other football clubs. Then for us, it's important also to use this claim of more than a club. Okay, so we are representing not just a football club. We are a multi-sport club. That means that we have also basketball section, volleyball, futsal, and many others, basketball, different sports that are under the umbrella of FC Barcelona. And that's for us the way to explain that we are more than a club. We are also giving a lot of power to the women's teams. We are, as you should know, one of the leaders in these competitions and these trophies historically, and we want to boost and to invest more and more on these women's teams that represent FC Barcelona as well as males. A part of that, we are also always sharing the values of FC Barcelona. Which kind of values we would like to highlight? The first one is we have, in terms of football, we have a unique style of playing. Of course, many other clubs have tried to replicate or do something similar. But from many years ago, we tried to create something unique. Also with this idea to create the new talent in-house with La Masia, that is our residency where young players start to develop themselves with a specific methodology that allows them then to go to the first team and have like a really good adaptation and to perform really well from day one. That's something that we have been working a lot during the last years, and now we can see the results. And that's, of course, something to be really proud. Also, we are really proud about the impact on the society. As I mentioned, we are global. We are really well known around the world, but we also see ourselves as a really strong arm to help the society in many projects. So we have the Barça Foundation that is helping some social projects in specific parts of the world with the idea to promote education, to promote the health, to work against the poverty, and to be as much egalitarian as possible. So that's also something that we are really proud on. And finally, just two big values. The first one is the innovation that we will also in the next slide talk about Barça Innovation Hub. We think that innovation and technology is so important in the sports industry. So we wanted to be forerunners on these fields, trying to give the technology to the athletes as soon as possible and before other sport clubs to be on this advantage compared on them. Yeah. So that's another valued innovation that is always in the strategic plan of FC Barcelona. And finally, and this is a key for us, is the remodelation, this improvement of the facilities of the stadium, all the space called Espai Barça, that is trying to give also the funds more accessible to this stadium. There will be more seats than any football venue in Europe, with more than 105,000 places, and also would be something that technologically would be in front of the rest of the stadiums in Europe. So we are on it. So we are still in the maintenance works, trying to be as fast as possible. And in the next months, we will be competing again at home. That will also help the performance of the club. Good. Saying that, I think that's now the moment to go more specific on Barça Innovation Hub. To do that, I would like to go for the region, okay, to understand why Barça decided to create this innovation hub. You should understand this innovation hub as a ecosystem. So we wanted to create a place where the different projects that 10 years ago were in the club, like developed by different departments, like small projects in education, in technology, in research, that were taking place in the club, were joined in the same place. That was the first argument to create Innovation Hub. We were the first football club to do that. And actually, we were focused on the States because over there we saw and we did our benchmark, and we saw that they were quite advanced on this kind of innovation hubs in the sport clubs, and we replicate the idea to bring it to Europe. What's the position now? Okay, because our origin were focusing on, as I mentioned, technology, research, but we also wanted to go for a third pillar that was talent, was education. So we will go one per one to understand the three big pillars that compose Barça Innovation Hub at this moment. But notice that after 10 years, we have been evolving, we have been improving, but now we think that are in a position that we can really well define the different structure of the unit. Let's start with innovation. Okay, so for us, it's important to still have this DNA of to be a researcher and to create new knowledge, because we have top professionals that are working on the daily basis in FC Barcelona, and they are creating knowledge. They are operating in the different focus areas that you can see in the screen, with advanced sports, coaching, health and wellness, the nutrition team, the psychologist team. So different categories are over there, and we from Barça Innovation Hub wanted to structure to be connected with these departments to get this knowledge, right? And also to promote the research. So from Barça Innovation Hub, what we are doing in the innovation unit is to finance, to give grants, to give money to the projects in order to create new research, new innovations, technologies that can help the club internally, right? So as you can see, currently we are developing more than 10 research and innovation projects, but we have finalized more than 34 at this moment. And the idea is to keep growing this field. I wanted to share with you one research project that we did, because I wanted that you also understand better what I'm talking about. Okay, so as you can see here in display, this is the prototype of the new Espai Barça, how the new stadium will be. Of course, more accessible, really with the last technology, also really aware about the environment and the sustainability that affects all the space that is the stadium. And what we did in the last stadium was to replicate the whole stadium in a digital sense. Okay, so I will explain in detail what does it mean. Our idea was to mainly check the flow of the fans around the stadium, during the official match in order to get more information about how the people is moving around in an official match, in a FC Barcelona match. Okay, so these are the different steps that this research project did. We started mapping the stadium and spaces. Then we used an identification system to track the people moving around. Then we replicate with this 3D simulation of people flows for the different floors of the stadium. We were able, with all the data that we collected, to create the predictive models to then get the results and analyze how we can improve the different operations that take place in an official match. Let's go one per one. The first one, as I mentioned, was to map the stadium, okay, to discover any single place and space in the stadium for have all the information and to check all these let's say active places where people can move around. The second one was trying to find this identification system. So as you can see, each person were tracked and yeah, identify all the journey that they will spend in the stadium. The third one was more about the 3D simulation. So as you can see the people moving around in the different floors of the stadium with different colors. Each color represents each floor. And that was also really useful for us in terms of information. Then we start to collect a lot of data during the different matches, and we identify, and I think that's the most relevant one, that is the upper one that you see, the red color and the blue color. You can differentiate the behavior of one member that comes to every single match compared with one person that comes to the stadium once, with purchasing one ticket, maybe international visitor that wants to experience a game. You can see, if you take the 0 as the kickoff of the match, how the members starts to come maybe 30 minutes before the kickoff. But look, the blue one, that are the tickets that are purchased once, that they want to experience more than a member, and then they started to come to the stadium 1 hour and a half before the kickoff. That could be obvious from your perspective, but you need real data to analyze this behavior and then to take actions about this, right? Also, more results. You can see here the circles are the different access to the stadiums, and you can see the different colors in the right side from gray to red, where red are like the more collapsed access, and the gray one are the more smooth access. That also allows us to understand which doors were more collapsed and at which period of time, and that's giving us also options to, for example, hire more security people over there, or maybe try to open the doors earlier. I don't know. This data allows us to take actions about real data. This also wanted to track the different groups of attendance and understanding also, again, the different access points at what time they are going through the access. Then also we had the opportunity to check, as you can see in the screen, all the data that we were collecting in the different matches. You can see this display how, well, this is more technical, but you can see the different matches, the attendance, the movements, the flows. Also, I mean, a lot of data, a lot of variables that were relevant at that time for this analysis. And finally, and this is the good part, I would say, is that this technology that we invest on and we created internally is totally feasible and applicable with different large events. Imagine concerts, imagine any other big events with a lot of people, with a lot of flow of people, but also non-sports events like shopping malls, like concerts, as I mentioned, like smart cities, for example, that wants to check the traffic jam, for example. I don't know, many applications can come from this IO Twins project. And finally, of course, this evacuation control that in terms of security is so important for these big venues. In terms of benefits, we can see different. We can improve the fan experience. We can reinforce the security. We can be more efficient in terms of operations, optimize the energy, and create this predictive maintenance. So a lot of applications also internally with this technology. Of course, and that could be a question coming from you is, okay, but with the new stadium that maybe changes the spaces, you will have to do that again. The answer is yes, but we have the knowledge how to do it, and we will be faster to implement this technology in the new stadium. Also, it's important to mention that this is not something created just by us. We have been collaborating with different institutions and mainly the Supercomputing Center in Barcelona, that is one of the top European centers related on the supercomputing technology. Okay, moving to the second pillar that I introduced previously, we go for the talent. So we know that we are in a industry, sports industry, so complex, but also with a lot of opportunities to be professionalized. Okay, so there are a lot of job responsibilities that at this moment are lack of talent that are specialized in the different areas. To do that, we identified 10 years ago that we wanted to create talent. So we are also offering different academic programs that you will see later, where we want to develop this program internally for different reasons. One reason can be also to give the different departments of FC Barcelona talent coming from our programs, but also at the same time, we know that in the same sport industry, there are a lot of opportunities for those students. So you can see that every year we are offering these academic programs to more than 9,000 students with different education programs and with different partners that also helps us, like HALT Business School is doing with us. As you can see, we differentiate about LLM education and master's education. I don't want to go more in detail about the offering or the portfolio, but just to understand that we are also offering this e-learning platform all over the world, just for particulars, but also for universities, football clubs, or other companies. All the topics are related with the sports science or sports management. That's what we are strong. As I mentioned, the knowledge created in FC Barcelona is collected by us and then transformed to an education program. And finally, the master's education is just the highest level in the before the PhD, but the master's education level, where we have also offering with some, in partnership with some universities, co-developed programs. You can see here some of the partners that we are collaborating. In the left side, the main partners that we consider like sponsors that comes from FC Barcelona and are interested to collaborate in the education unit. Also the academic partners, where we are really proud to have HALT Business School over there, but also many others around the world that are collaborating with different academic programs. And finally, some public companies that are also more for the innovation unit. And the third one is the events. Okay, so this is the third pillar. We talk about events. We organize small events for students as study trips from people that comes from over the world as well as a group. And you will see in the next slide an example of what we are offering to them. Also executive for inspirational talks, and football entities that wants to know more about Barça methodology and comes to Barcelona to experience with a Barça coach what's behind the scenes in the football area. This could be an example of 2 days education event where you have different speeches, you have a visit to the museum, you can go to the official store, and then you can also have a visit in the sport complex where the FES team and the youth teams are training as a program tailor-made for those institutions. This is another example, focus on football coaches, where we also offer them the opportunity to have practice, to watch trainings, and to experience different experience with Barça coaches. Then also we organize a congress, organizing the Mobile World Congress, one of the most technological important events in the world. We have a booth over there, a big booth to be honest, for 2 days content with different activities where we try to have this space to connect again startups, to connect investors, key persons of the sport industries, sometimes students as well with universities. So we try to be like a good place for interact the different ecosystem players that we have around. You can see some pictures about how it is, this scenario, and also how the brands collaborate to sponsor this big event. This is celebrated annually in March, and that's something that for us is so important to share also some research projects, to share some speech from FC Barcelona professionals. It's for us like a big event. Also, we have the new tech unit. Okay, so this is a way to invest on startups. Okay, and this is something that we started 2 years ago. We identified that there were some technology that needed a boost and wanted to be associated with FC Barcelona. And we identify also that acquiring some shares of these potential startups that at this moment maybe are small, but they have a big potential, could be a good reason to invest on them. And that's a strategy. We are now with more than 12 startups on the portfolio. But I wanted to share with you 3 examples to understand how we collaborate with these brands. As you can see in the picture, we have one brand that is Oliver, that we co-created this GPS tracker that is focused for those amateur football players that wants to know more about their performance data, how they are competing with different variables, the kick power, the speed, the kilometers run, and heat maps as well. So different variables that you can have when you are practicing football. This is the example. So this device or this company wanted to boost themselves, to gain more awareness, and they decided to join us with this reason. And then you have all this information, but I want to go more faster on the different examples, because we have also Visualfy, that is a solution for people with hearing loss, and this is something that is implemented in the wall, and you can see if there is an emergency and you have problems to hearing the alarm. You can see the device. Also, your mobile phone is vibrating, so you have this solution that can be implemented in the different stadiums, and that was the main argument for them to join us. They wanted to open doors for the sports industry, so they decided to join us because of this. And finally, on a labs that is more focused on medicine and sports, also giving some data and performance biomarkers, to get and measure the performance of the athletes with and also the chronically ill people as well. Okay, now we are going to move and going to the project. Okay, so I wanted to give you a brief introduction about innovation in sports before to share with you the project itself, this challenge that we hope that you enjoy and you have fun developing it with us. In terms of innovation, okay, so it's really large, the amount of definitions that many experts have given about what is innovation. But I think that sometimes one image worth more than 1,000 words. So you can see in the chart that there is always two big aspects when we talk about innovation, right? We talk about a vision, about an idea, about how I want to improve, or how I want to create, or how I identify the need of a specific niche in the market. But also there is the material, the invention, okay? How I transform this idea to something real. So this conversion between these two big concepts, the abstract one and the material one, is what this expert defines innovation, okay? Is the conjunction about the vision and invention, okay? There are also different ways to analyze the different steps when we talk about innovation, okay? When we want to create something new, when we want to innovate, we come always with an idea. That's the first part, that's the first phase. This idea is something that comes to your mind, but then you have to have the ability to transform that in something feasible, to something that you can touch, something that is useful for your target market. So the next step after your idea is to define the project, okay? It's trying to create this concept, trying to understand the needs of the market, trying to understand if there is something similar in the market at this moment, or maybe not, or maybe yes, but with some different characteristics. So in these two first steps is what this challenge is about. Because the third one is more about the prototype, is when you have defined all the concept, all the market research, all the different aspects of your project, you have to create it. You have to transform that in something that you can touch. Then you have to design it, you have to develop, you have to test, you have to do mistakes and redo again the different aspects of your idea. And then when it's already validated by you and you think that that's something like the last version, you start the production, where you finally have this product created. You go for commercialization with all the promotion, the 4 Ps, the promotion, the product, distribution, and price, okay? So that's something really, let's say, simple to understand the different steps. Of course, it's more complex than that, but I wanted just to share with you the different steps and how we will focus on the two first steps on this challenge. Also, in order to understand a little bit the ecosystem, right, of innovation, it's important to take a look of the different players. In one hand, how the society is giving us the different needs of the people, of the population. Of course, these needs are evolving at the same speed as the society is changing their habits. But there are, as I said, different changes in the market. The globalization gave us a lot of changes, the tech advances, the hyperconnectivity, the lack of resources, or the social changes are giving us opportunities to innovate, okay? So this innovation can come from existing solutions, but also sometimes some disruptive, non-existent solutions. And we have some examples in the historic about this kind of innovation. So also it's important to identify here the corporations, those particulars that started with the idea and then created a corporation to develop the different goods and services, that these corporations are having different objectives, but of course they want to be competitive, they have to be flexible, innovative, quick, efficient, among other values. And also, it's important to have this innovation purpose in your corporation in order to have these advantages against your competition. If you compare two corporations, one with a big investment in innovation department and another one that is maybe more conservative, you will see the differences of how advantage have one compared with another. So it's important also to understand this kind of ecosystem before to go for new ideas. Different sources of innovation. So there are need vendors that are doing a consumer analysis to understand what is the problem of the society and then create the idea coming from that. Then also we have some market readers that identify a solution and tries to offer a new characteristic on that in order to increment the solution. And finally, the technological engines with these no solutions based on technological capabilities and knowledge. So creating new knowledge allows you to be more close to innovate than others. There is also a concept that I will go so fast on this, that is the dilemma zone. So you can see in the chart two variables, time and performance or revenue. You can imagine an existing business that is doing well, that is improving the revenue over time. They are doing good with a solution that maybe are pioneer in the market. But there is a point where you see the square where there is another corporation that is offering a disruptive innovation at the same time. So you are in a position that you are leading the market, your confidence is so high, and you say, okay, there is this new disruptive innovation, but who knows? Maybe this is something difficult to get to the market. But you have to decide if you keep with your idea and being conservative, or maybe readapt your products with this disruptive innovation or this disruptive technology. So that's opening this dilemma zone to corporations to understand at which point they should change, or they should improve, or they should adapt the new innovations that are being disruptive in the market. Then, and just to finish this more, let's say, theoretical part, it's understanding the different kind of innovations that we can see in the different markets, okay? So the first one is, as I mentioned before, the incremental innovation. So you can imagine, as you have for sure this device, this smartphone, where you see that every time, over the time, you see different characteristics that are being introduced in the new models, right? That could be understood as incremental innovation. So you are adding new technology to offer to the market a new solution to the need of the population. Which are the different needs? For example, now the society looks like we want everything faster. So we want to be as fast as possible to invest our time, our personal time in other things. So all the solutions that are coming to the technology now is focusing on or give to the society a faster solution to anything that you are doing, right? So this could be an example, but also in the car industry, we see also new solutions that are implemented. If we see a car sold 10 years ago, we will see different extras that were not included. And now all the cars have a minimum and basic technology that a few years ago wasn't over there. So this incremental innovation is key to keep growing the corporations, to keep growing the technology, and to improve continuously the experience and the needs of the society. Then we have also the opposite, that are these disruptive innovations. They have a big risk because they start from scratch, let's say, identifying a potential need for the customers, as you can see, Apple, for example, Netflix, transforming all the industry replacing the model as a disruptive innovation. So at the beginning of Netflix, if you remember, maybe there were a big risk or a big doubt about if it will work or not. But finally, I think that every of us knows about Netflix, and at least knows about them. So that's something that they are being disruptive, but nowadays they are leading the market that wasn't existing before. There is other kind of innovations, for example, the network innovation that is really well used by Tesla, that has the idea to collaborate with the different suppliers and different stakeholders around to create something more collaborative, more accurate with the different institutions that are part of the Tesla products. Okay. Similar is the open innovation, where different brands what are doing is to give the customers the opportunity to participate in different challenges or projects related to different products to design, to define the final product. So they are leverage the knowledge to the customers to have like the perfect and accurate product for them. That's another way of open innovation that is used by some of the companies. And finally, the design thinking. BBVA is a bank in Spain that is giving a lot of impact to the employees to redefine the products, to redefine innovation solutions for companies or for particulars. So are developing some challenges internally in order to create new innovative products and services. And finally, before to go for the explanation of the challenge, these are the main topics in this concept of sport tech that is joining the words of sports and technology. We use sport tech to define that, where we identify 4 big categories. We have advanced sports, where are focused on health, performance, wellness, and is finally technology to improve data of the different sports that we are developing. Sports medicine, those technology focus to improve the nutrition skills, the psychology, the energy, the stress, all the different sports areas that are in sports. And media entertainment, as you know, nowadays there is a lot of strength on the digital side. So how new population with new habits are consuming our products or our matches, for example, how are they watching the match is also something that new technologies are taking into account. The esports also would be in this category. And new technologies like 5G and different advertising models. And finally, last but not least, all these new technologies also like blockchain, big data, Web3, and artificial intelligence are creating new technologies that can be used in sports, and that's called Industry 4.0, where this technology is increasing a lot of solutions to solve problems with these tools. Okay, moving to the last chapter, the challenge. That's the most important part of the speech. I think that we will try to be as much clear as possible to give you all the tools to work on this challenge. Okay, so the title is Unleashing the Future of Sport Tech, because our idea is that you guys in groups work with a new idea, a new innovation project that can help the different needs in the sport tech. Some examples, we want that you focus on advanced sports. So if you remember the 4 categories that we showed 2 slides before, The advanced sports is focusing on this technology to help players, to help athletes with the performance, with data, with the technology like artificial intelligence to help all these players. But also we include the possibility that you guys go for an idea related to improve the athlete health and recovery. So maybe you identify, as you can see in the screen, these two solutions that are a football ball, where you have data. When you impact the ball, you have some sensors that collect information, and then you, with a mobile phone, you can check the training, the performance of your training, and is giving you data to improve your skills. That could be an example. So that's what we are expecting about you guys, to think about this kind of solutions in these two big topics. Again, smart technology in sports, and also improving athlete health and recovery. As you can see, both topics are quite open. So take your time to think about it, to see also with the different research that you will do, which are the potential needs, which are also the potential gaps that you can find with the different stakeholders. You can focus on fans, you can focus on athletes, you can focus even in institutions, on specific football clubs if you want. So all that is related with the sports industry is totally valid for this challenge. In terms of objective, as I said, this market research would be the first step that you must be done in order to proceed with the next step to develop the innovation project itself. Finally, we will use a tool that will help you to structure all the challenge. That is the Innovators Canvas model. Okay, I will share it in the next 2 slides. In terms of deliverables, okay, this is important to understand what is expected to do for the challenge. So there are 2 aspects to take into account, 2 deliveries. The first one is to complete these Innovators Canvas models. That includes the different aspects of the model. Okay, so coming from the market research, identify your target audience, identify the value proposition. Is the how you are differentiate how are you differentiate with the competence with other companies that are offering something similar. The minimal viable product, of course, is important to don't stop just on the idea. You need to go further to demonstrate that this solution is feasible and, of course, is sustainable. In terms of cost and pricing, is also important to make this research to understand which would be the cost and also the pricing that you would put in the market. Again, the market strategy, and finally, the understanding of the market competition. So all of this is in the next slide in the model, so you will see in a few seconds. Second aspect, okay, 8-minute live and virtual presentation to share the story of your product. So you should demonstrate and you should convince the jury that this solution is, again, sustainable, feasible, and is covering a gap in the market. And this would be the 2 deliveries on this challenge. Okay, we will open now in a few minutes questions for you guys if you have, in order to clarify these points. This should be the part of the Innovators Canvas model, where you see the different aspects where you can put the information to structure the innovation that you have in mind. Okay, so you have key resources in the left side. You have to identify the key partners, these unfair advantages, the metric that matters, the different stages of your idea. Then in the center you have the brand promise, the value proposition, so important to identify those aspects that makes your solution different. Also, in terms of product and services, explain really well the game creators and painkillers of your solution. Below the part of the cost structure, the revenue streams, as well, how you imagine that the revenue and the cost will come from. And then the right side is more for the customer section, that you have the relationships, how you will communicate, which channels you will use to distribute your solution. And then in the customer segment, you have the gains and pains and job to be done, the different stages in order to communicate with your segment, customer segments. That would be pretty all. So I hope that I've been so clear during my presentation with the different stages. The first models we have been talking about FC Barcelona, about Barça Innovation Hub. The second, we moved to a little bit of theory about innovation to understand the context, to understand where we are at this moment, to move to the challenge. That's the exciting part, where you guys will work during the next months. And we hope that you develop these skills that are really well rated in the labor market at this moment. That is, be creative, be proactive, do a good marketing research, and dedicate a lot of effort to understand your solution. And then these skills, these oral skills that you will develop in the second part when you present your solution. That's all from my side. So thank you very much again for the opportunity. Thank you very much again to all the effort that you will put for that come from your end. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sergi. Lots of heart emojis, applause. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, I know we have lots of questions, and I have been working hard to answer as many as possible, but I do want to get through the rest of the logistics, because I think that will also help clear things up. And then we will get to any questions in the Q&A that are more relevant to Sergi and the challenge. So a couple new things this year. You saw that the events are, if you were here in the past few years, you will not have to register every week for every live event, but rather you will get emails from Zoom. If you are in the London challenge, so that would be anyone from Asia, Middle East, Africa, and Europe, you guys will receive, for any live sessions, there are 2 emails from Zoom, and you choose the one that is most suitable to your schedule. Boston, you will receive 1 invite. The biggest change this year, in addition, that I'm really excited about is our online learning component. And on the next slide, I will share the link to that. But that is where, so there are, especially in this first few weeks, there are going to be several pre-recorded sessions. We did this for a few different reasons, but one being your flexibility. We received feedback from last year, and being that it is such a global experience in so many different time zones, the event, and you guys are in high school with very, very busy schedules, we know that it can be hard to attend live sessions, so we wanted to add in more flexibility to sharing the content. And so we do have several online learning or pre-recorded sessions, that we will make available throughout the time, as we still want the flow of learning to go in a certain way, so we share on specific dates. As Alvaro alluded to earlier, we are adding a coaching element. Last week, we had a session with our head coach, Max Neal, for our team leaders, where he shared more about team dynamics and working with you guys, you as the teams of students, to collaborate well together. And then for our semifinalists, we will be offering some coaching sessions as well with our HALT coaches. And then also this year, we did add this in late last year, but for everyone participating in the challenge, if you do want to apply for HALT this year, If you are a senior, you will be eligible for an application fee waiver. More to come on that. Sorry, moving along or not moving along. Here we go. So this is the Help Future Leaders Challenge Hub. I sent the link in the Q&A. So check that out, but you also all received this in an email that was sent to you on Friday. There was a link to this. You should favorite this site. This is where everything is going to live and be during the challenge, including our session recordings, our pre-recorded sessions, and any resources. So what you'll find here is, for example, it's supposed to